welcome to I Have Today. This is our series where we educate, inspire, and empower you with fantastic guests and content to help you through reinventions and transitions in your life and to really live the I Have Today way, which is with passion and purpose intentionally in every area of your life, every day of your life. And today I am super excited about our topic and especially our guests. And for those of you on radio that are not going to be able to see this, we're drinking wine tonight. So here's to you. It's 5:30 here on the Pacific Coast, and we decided that we were going to have cocktails because the topic is so great and the guest is even better. So this week on our show, what we're going to talk about first is how to get over an affair. This last week we talked about divorce-proofing your marriage, and we also said that sometimes relationships aren't supposed to last forever. Sometimes they are meant to end, and sometimes they don't end in a positive way. There's pain and there's hurt with that. And the goal is whatever happens to you is happening for you. I know you may not think that's true at the time, but eventually over time you realize when you connect the dots back that things truly are always working out for you, including something like an affair. And I will tell you from my own story and my own journey as someone who was cheated on and my ex had an affair, that was something that I had to come to terms with and resolve for myself, not only for me and my well-being and my health and moving on with my life, but also for my kids' sake. And I just felt it was really important that I had to figure out a way to get over that and heal from it in the fastest, most permanent way possible so that I could go on with my life and allow myself to be open to love, extraordinary gifts, and so much more abundance and joy. And I did not want to stay stuck where I was in that pattern because I didn't want to invite that back into my life. And what I learned through that process was, so much of what I talk about is being selfish in a really good way. And what I needed to have more of was self-trust. The trust was not there within myself. Deep down on some level, did I know it was happening? Yes, probably I did, but ignored the signs and didn't trust myself. So that's what I'm going to invite you to consider today. And think about how lack of self-trust might be showing up in your life. So for those of you out there that this is your first time here, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. And for those of you who have been here before, I want to say welcome back. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This show is nothing without you. So based on how to get over an affair, whether it's happened to you or you were the one who had the affair, there are 3 ways that I want to suggest to you to move on from that and allow yourself to process it and release it and let it go. Because I talk about this a lot with living intentionally and living in the now. And I have today, our lives are right now. It's only today. Don't stay stuck in your past. Don't be projecting out into your future. And how you do that is you get a reboot every single day of your life. Every morning when you wake up, your soul is not remembering yesterday. That is really powerful. Let that sink in. You don't have to carry the pain from your past forward with you again. You already lived through it once. So what you want to do is when it's coming up and you're thinking about it again, say, how can I move through this in a positive way to nurture myself and love myself and to live a really fulfilling, happy existence today, right now, in this present moment. So 3 things that I came up with is the number one thing is to practice forgiveness. And that is not easy for a lot of people. A lot of people struggle with it. And I have 3 levels of forgiveness that I write about in my book, I Have Today, Find Your Passion, Purpose, and Smile Finally. And if you're interested in getting a copy of it, you can go to Amazon.com or you can go to my site at DianeForster.com and you can get access to it there. But the three levels of forgiveness are, number one is forgiveness of self. It doesn't matter what has happened to us, what we've done, what's been done to us. The first layer is always to forgive ourselves, because we, in our minds, go to the place of, what did I do to deserve this? What did I do wrong? What could I have done better? And we all instinctively do that. And so you need to go forgive yourself first for whatever has transpired in your life, particularly related to an affair, since that's what we're talking about for this segment of the show. The next thing is forgiveness of the other person or the incident, whatever has happened. Now, forgiving them does not mean you let them off the hook in any way or any stretch of the imagination. Forgiveness of them releases the chokehold on you, because that's like, oh God, now I can't remember who said it. Einstein? Maybe it was Einstein. But that's like expecting, drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It's just not going to happen. When you hold on to that rage and that anger and that unforgiveness of what's happened, it is not hurting the other person. It is only hurting you. So forgive them for yourself, not the event, not what happened, but forgive the behavior, because it was a behavioral effect, not the actual person. Even though the person did it, it really is the behavior. So forgive it and let it go, because it's not serving you to hang on to it. And then the third layer is back to you and forgiveness of you again, because we will beat ourselves up over and over and over again for the same stupid things. Do you notice that? I mean, I notice that about myself. Why do I do that? Why is it brought up again and I get that feeling again, and then I'm beating myself up again about something that I've already processed? Why do I have to go there again? So it's creating an awareness. Forgive you again. Forgive you, forgive it, forgive you. That's the 3-step process of forgiveness. Okay, I need a sip of wine. Second reason why and how to get over an affair and what the value is for you is you need to be thinking about your children if you have children. So for me, I needed to do that despite what happened. I had to realize that I had 2 children with this person, and they're a part of him just as much as they are a part of me. So any negative emotions I have associated with him, we're all energy, we're all connected, they're going to feel it. They're going to feel it. Even if I don't say anything and I feel the emotions, they're still going to feel it. Energetically, they're going to pick up on it. And so you got to think about the letting it go and the forgiveness and getting over it for the sake of your children, because you're teaching them how to show up in the world by your actions and reactions to things. And then the third way is something that I got from our special guest today, that is about immersion into something that you really love and that you really care about and can really get into, because you're fulfilling your soul when you do that. And when you immerse yourself in something that you love, time kind of loses all meaning, and you get the opportunity to stay in a place of gratitude and appreciation and love and positive energy versus negative energy. And so that's a way to do it, because it also keeps your mind off of the other things. So what can you immerse yourself in that you absolutely love? So those are my 3 tips today on how to get over an affair. All right, so next, clearly our topic for the day is, the theme is how to get over the affair. And then the intention of today's show is this. Start every intention like this. I have today to forgive indiscretions and let them go. I have today to, I just got a message. Uh-oh, can't hear me. All right, let me see. All right, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Hang on one second. Pat Finch, can you hear me? Still can't hear me. Okay. What is going on here? All right, can anybody else? Oh, you can hear me okay? Thanks, Jean. Thanks for being there, and thanks for the comment. Okay, all right. So, is it okay if I keep going? Jean, can you give me a thumbs up or say yes, keep going? Okay, cool. All right. All right, so the intention of today's show is this. I have today to forgive indiscretions and let them go. So you have today to release your attachment to somebody else's behavior, indiscretion, and your own indiscretion. And like I said, you start each day fresh and new. Learn to forgive yourself. Think about, I don't know what your religious beliefs are. I don't know how you're raised, whether you believe in God or Jesus or Allah or Buddha or Krishna or the universe, collective consciousness, whatever it is. The only emotion is love. And with love comes forgiveness. So let it go. Let the indiscretions go. Know that we're having a human experience here and that things happen. And when you hang on to it, you're just reliving it over and over and over again. So that's my lessons and teachings for today. And now let me tell you what's coming up next. I have a really, really special guest for you today. She is a friend of mine and someone who I love, adore, and admire. And she is on this fantastic journey in her life. And she is Dr. Carol Soloway. And she is a chiropractor, a qualified medical examiner by day, and based on her book, at night, she's a Sex Happens author. If you have not read this book, we are going to be talking about this book today. It's going to be so much fun. Part of the reason why I'm having wine, it's just girls' night. It's like book club night. So Carol, at 19, she graduated college and started teaching English. And by 20, she was going to grad school. Imagine that. She's 20 years old in grad school. She gave birth to 3 children and then decided to go to chiropractic college, and she graduated with honors. Now, I'm going to let her tell you about the fantastic business that she built and how she built it with all of her chutzpah and her guts and her gumption, which is amazing. But she's had this fantastic practice, and now she's doing work as qualified medical examiner by day, but she's really focused on the success and getting the message out about Sex Happens, which we're going to talk all about. And this year she was honored as the Woman of Achievement from the IAW, which is the International Association for Women. So on that note, let me welcome my guest, Carol Soloway. Come on in the studio, Carol.
Hello.
Say hello. Here we go. Let's get your mic all plugged in. Okay. Looking good. Okay. Hey, girlfriend.
Hello.
Nice to see you. Okay.
How can I not be?
Oh, here we go. Cheers. We might have to retitle the show. Instead of I Have Today with Diane Forster, we're going to say Drinks with Diane.
Sounds good to
That's
me.
a good theme, right? I love it. Well, cheers. So welcome. I'm so excited to have you here and, again, talk about your book. This is a fantastic read filled with intrigue, suspense, humor, twists and turns. It's a page turner. It is a page turner. So, all right. So I kind of talked about your bio a little bit, but I want you to really kind of talk about your background a little bit, about your journey into what you've done, and just in nuggets, but kind of to get you to where you are in the recent past with now being a published author. And
actually, before I do that, I have to tell you, you have solved the problem of the book.
I have.
Okay, I was listening to you. Everybody wants to know, well, she made some inappropriate decisions, the main character in the book. And I thought, why? The key is she didn't trust herself. And I could not figure that out.
Hello.
Hello.
That's why we're here.
Yes.
That's why we're here.
That is I mean, we couldn't have scripted this.
I
That
know,
is amazing.
I know.
I'm sitting there listening. I'm saying, that's the problem.
Yes.
She did not trust herself. And without trusting yourself, you are going to make the worst decision.
Yes.
You can't.
Yes.
So everybody would ask me, I love the journey. I love the book. I'm learning so much. But why didn't she make good decisions? And I said, I don't know, because,
Well,
and now I figured it out.
lack of self-trust.
Yeah.
Lack of
She didn't
self-trust.
have-
So now you got it.
I kept saying, well, she was upset by the divorce. She was upset by her husband's indiscretion. She had no self-esteem, but really, she didn't trust herself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So thank you.
Yeah.
I'm leaving now.
It's great, right? And how important is self-trust? Right.
It's everything.
It's everything.
It's everything.
Really. I agree. All right. So go ahead.
Okay.
I
I do want to say, with the journey, there was a time, when we're little, we have this unshakable drive. We have this trust. Otherwise, we'd never be walking. Get up, fall down. Get up, fall down. I did something that took so much trust, which was I sold my house. The only thing I had in the world. No parents. They died. My sister had her own problems at that time with a severely a child who had brain problems, and I did the craziest thing. I sold my house.
Yeah,
I had nothing else in the world, and I had enough for 3 months.
Oh wow,
that was it.
Gutsy girl.
That was gutsy girl, but that was trust.
Yes,
and it really was a belief that I could do it.
Yeah,
and that is.
Right.
The most so important. You can do anything
yes.
if you trust.
Right. So yeah, if you trust and you believe, and you had a vision and a goal and a mission, you wanted to build this business, and you sunk everything into it. So what she's saying right now also is that she took that leap of faith. She stepped over the edge. She took that step in the dark of not being able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and just. Right. Like I always say, she just wanted to see where it goes. She just kept going. She just kept going.
Well, I had absolutely nothing
yeah.
in the back. Nothing in the back. Oh no, I had a $10,000 student loan. That was all mine. But I had no resources. No other resources.
Okay.
Just off the plank.
Yes. Yeah. And well, look at you now. You built a 7-figure practice, and it was a wildly successful career for you.
Yes, it was. And now my son has that practice while I do the medical legal.
Yes,
It's all good.
It's all good. So Carol's so well established. She's done so many great things. But I want to get into the juice, baby. I want to talk about the book.
Juice.
So, all right. So if you have not read Sex Happens, you need to read this book. And we're gonna put a link on here in the comments section, but there's a short link, a bit.ly link. It's bit.ly/, and then write Diane Sex Happens.
Diane Sex Happens.
Diane Sex Happens. All right. So that's a way for you to get the book quickly. All right. So. All right, here's your baby. Let's talk about your baby. Nurse your baby.
Well, actually, the title goes with what we're talking about today, because it was the critical moment when her husband told her he was in love with somebody else. Mm-hmm. And as women, we're like, oh my goodness, this person that belonged to us. I hate to use that word, but and our whole being, our whole sense of who we are is destroyed within that moment.
Right.
Our sexuality is out the window. We don't think we're pretty enough, sexy enough.
Right.
And
fill in the blank.
The ground is gone.
It is. I will say it was a devastating moment, and it rocks your world. It shakes you up, and that's why we picked this topic tonight how to get over an affair. It's because this is the way the book starts out. It starts out with this story.
Well, and the husband says the sex just happened with someone else.
Yes.
That's the key. And she said it doesn't. Just happened. And it doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Maybe it does for some people.
Yes. But no, there is definitely a cause for things, right. All right. So the book was a labor of love for you. Let's talk about
Sometimes.
that. Yeah. No, but your dedication to write this book, it was how many years ago that you started this book?
Well, it took me 10 years.
Yeah.
I wrote for 10 years from midnight to 1, and I just kept at it and kept at it. I didn't really take it seriously. It was just a hobby. I mean, what else do you do from midnight to 1? And then something happened in my life, which was I had melanoma. I had it twice on my arm, my leg.
Wow.
And you know what? I got over it. It was like, okay, I'm back to work, no big deal. And I thought, what was this divorce thing that shook me so much that I literally could not function well for 20 years.
Okay.
20 years. I'm a slow learner.
Okay. Well, all right. So what happened is, because this is really important, let's focus on this for a second, because you had that happen to you, this devastating thing. You didn't really process it. And what manifested was melanoma, which...
Well, and also instead of wine, what I did was I became a workaholic. I just didn't deal with it, didn't face it, just worked.
Yes.
I mean, I was there
all the time. Right. Okay.
That was my drug.
Okay, so work was the drug, which led to that, but then the melanoma happened, and then all of a sudden you realized that there was something else for you that you wanted to do. Like you wanted to write since you were 6 years old. You were an English teacher, right? So was that after the melanoma scare, was that when you started the process?
No, I had been doing it, but sort of dabbling. And then after the melanoma scare, I decided, you know what, there are other women out there who have lost 20 years, 10 years, 5 years. I've got to do a story about a woman who goes through it. And it's not my story, because if I said, I sat home for 20 years and then went to work, what kind of a novel would that be? But it twists and turns, but she emerges with trust in herself, which I never realized. And she emerges as this powerful person. And she goes through, she loses her custody of her children.
Right. This is huge.
This is huge. But the important thing about that is the main character is a chiropractor. I did that because I didn't know what else to have her do during the day. Come on, what else you can do? But also because this happens to everybody, all walks, professional, not everybody. When this, the gut punch moment,
right. When the rug gets pulled out from under
exactly, it has to deal.
Yes,
and that was why I made her, and to show that a professional woman can lose so much trust. I say it's like the girl on the train. She doesn't know whether she doesn't believe herself.
Right.
And she loses custody, and that can happen. We can get so twisted around that
you lose. Listen, we all have moments like this and times in our lives where this sort of thing happens. You're just kind of sort of not that you're not in your right mind, but you're not. There's something off, and so she was sort of spiraling in one way, and it ended up costing her the custody of her children in this book. And you said this to me. We talked earlier today. Carol goes out and she speaks all the time, and she will, meet with people, and she, at least once, one woman, every time she goes out and speaks, says the same thing happened to her. I lost my children in the custody battle. And so that's it happens. It's devastating. You don't think that can happen, but it does. And so then
I think they tell me because when I speak, I do admit that this happened to me.
Yes.
And it happened to me because I had no resources.
You had no resources to fight.
I had no resources. I thought, okay, they'll go and they'll come back, and once my practice is established. But you're not thinking. You don't have your senses.
Right.
And I thought I could preserve the relationship. And I did, but I preserved the relationship, but I didn't preserve my sanity.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do anything crazy.
No.
But I did. I punished myself.
Yeah, of course.
20 years, I didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
No one knew. I this weekend I don't have my kids, I would say whatever. But I was so riddled with guilt, I couldn't, the ground was gone and it didn't come back until I wrote the book and faced.
So if you're out there and you're watching this and you're going through anything like that, where you're keeping something like this that's so huge, what a big secret and a burden for you to carry for so long, no, first of all, know that you're for sure not alone, and that there are resources out there for you and support for you, and that you don't have to carry the burden alone.
Well, that's an important. I did not go to therapy or do anything, and we had just moved to California, so I did not have even a support group.
Right.
No friends, nothing. So that's why in the book I made a community. The First Friday Book Club.
Yes.
And that was her support system. That was, I called her Greek chorus. She would go there and get feedback on where she was in life. And that is so important.
Yes, it is. It is. So that's one of the key takeaways that we were going to talk about, is the power of your tribe and having that support system. You know what? When I was reading the book, I got a feeling of, this kind of feels a little like Sex and the City with the girls, the Friday book club, their lunches and their relationships. And I was laughing out loud. So I love the humor in the book. And then I get a little, definitely a better version of 50 Shades in terms of the intimacy scenes, and then the suspense and the intrigue and the twists and the turns. The book is really, really good. You've got to get a copy of this book. We're plugging it and supporting it. So please click on the link and get it, because the more exposure, Carol's goal is to get this made into a film, which would be an amazing film. So just wanted to put that out there. All right. Okay, so what else?
What are the sex scenes? I do one. The sex scenes are sex scenes. Right.
The sex scenes.
Having all the stuff. They are titillating. The real purpose, the reason they had to be in the book, was because her sexuality was destroyed.
Yes.
So that's why they are in the book. But someone did say it changed her husband and her sex life. All right. Because it was not pornographic, but it was certainly titillating. And there are sex scenes because that was needed.
Yes.
Not gratuitous.
No. All of that's good.
Yeah, okay.
Go for it. Have fun. All right. Well, what other takeaways from the book do you want to share? Anything else? We talked about the tribe, that it's important not to keep this stuff a secret. I know that when you speak, you talk a lot about what was the one thing that really kept you going and really changed. Turned you into who you are today. I mean, you are a best-selling author. You've got this fantastic practice behind you that your son now runs. You're doing this. You're traveling all over the country, speaking about the book. You're writing another book. You've got a lot of stuff going on. So what is that one thing that really makes all this happen for you?
I want to go back to the very beginning, which is trusting.
Okay.
Myself.
All right.
And I still work. I have a very large medical legal practice. I work in beautiful places like Watts and downtown LA. And the real thing is trusting, believing that I could do it. Mm-hmm. And that's what happens to the main character. She goes from totally destroyed with lots of twists and turns and really weird things. As a matter of fact, that's why one agent did pick it up, because she said she couldn't guess the ending. And really, it's when you have that trust in yourself, whatever life throws at you, you can just go for it.
You will not only survive, you will thrive. You become more and more empowered with that. Trust myself. I trust that I'm worthy. I trust that I'm okay. I trust that I'm going to make it through this. I trust I'm going to come out on the other end of this better. just, I love that. That's great. That's great. So what's next for you?
Next for me, this book it was started when I would speak, like in New York, we got $3,500 for Save a Child. And
Wonderful.
then we got $1,000 for Working Wardrobes, because I give the proceeds when I speak to the charity. So I started thinking, wow, what's next for me? My son is involved with Child Rescue.
Okay.
An organization that helps trafficked children.
Oh, I love it.
So my next novel, the beautiful flower girl in this book, I won't tell you who, but beautiful flower girl in this book does get abducted.
Oh, wow.
And the next book, all of the proceeds will go to Child Rescue. So I'm really excited about that.
Wonderful.
And I will be speaking. We have another RV trip on our horizon.
Great.
And that's where I'm going.
Yes. Okay. So support Carol Soloway in this beautiful journey that she's on, this great book. Well, I'm so glad that you were here and got to spend time with us that I have today. Isn't she awesome? All right. So I want to just say, I want to leave with my own request from you that self-trust comes from really having a sense of who you are and what you want and what your passion and your purpose is. And I know that so many people struggle with that. And so I've listened to you, I've listened to my clients, and I created a 10 days to your passion and purpose program that's here. And I'm offering this for free. And if you are interested, if you want to find out what your truth is, what you're truly passionate about, what your purpose is, and come out in 10 short days on the other side with clarity and focus and confidence and direction to lead you whatever the road is that you want to travel, this is the program for you. If you're stuck in any way or feeling lack of self-trust, lack of self-worth, lack of self-esteem. So if you are interested in registering for this, again, it's free and it's available at ihavetoday.com/free. So go ihavetoday.com/free. I want to say this has been a lot of fun, and here's to you, girl. Cheers. I like drinking with you. Yes. This has been a great show. Remember, again, that you only have today. This is your life. It's right now. The only thing and the only way that you fail is lack of action. Inaction is the killer of productivity, and you need to be able to leap fearlessly and fearfully into whatever it is you want, and know that the joy is in the journey and that nothing happens without risk. And if you stay safe and closed off, you're dying. You are literally shutting off your energy source and supply. You're supposed to be out creating, learning, expanding, playing, and experiencing. So live your life to the fullest each and every day in every area. So live the I Have Today way. I'm Diane Forster. Thank you so much for being here. I love you madly, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.